Have you been struggling with chronic kidney disease, high creatinine, or constant fatigue no matter how healthy you try to eat? What if I told you that one of the most dangerous threats to your kidneys might be sitting in your freezer right now, disguised as something healthy? That's right. For years we've been told to eat more fish. It's lean, it's heart healthy, it's natural. But here's what no one tells you. Some of the most popular types of fish in American households can quietly, steadily destroy your kidneys. Especially if you're over 60 and already dealing with early-stage kidney issues, hypertension, or diabetes, the wrong fish can make things worse, much worse. Does this sound familiar? You're doing everything your doctor says. Cutting back on red meat, avoiding fried food, drinking more water, and still, your lab results show rising creatinine. Your energy is gone by mid-morning. You're waking up puffy, with aching legs, and a sense of helplessness you can't quite describe. You ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? The truth is, it's not always about what you're doing wrong. Sometimes, it's about what you don't know. According to a 2022 review in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, excessive sodium, phosphorus additives, and mercury exposure are major accelerators of kidney decline in older adults. And guess what foods often carry all three? Certain types of seafood, especially those that are processed, oily, or high on the food chain. But don't worry, there's good news. Not all fish are harmful. In fact, when chosen carefully, fish can be one of the most powerful allies in protecting and even supporting kidney function. The key is knowing which to avoid and which to embrace. In today's video, we're going to uncover the 4 most common types of sea fish that can silently harm your kidneys. And then more importantly, we'll reveal 4 kidney-friendly alternatives that are not only safe, but delicious and easy to find right here in the US. So stay with me, because this might just change the way you look at your dinner plate and could be the small, simple shift your kidneys have been waiting for. It's cheap, it's convenient, and it sits quietly on pantry shelves in millions of American homes. But for anyone living with kidney issues, canned tuna in oil might be doing far more harm than good. At first glance, it seems harmless, even healthy. After all, tuna is a lean protein, right? But here's the hidden truth. Canned tuna packed in oil often contains shockingly high amounts of sodium, sometimes over 350 milligrams per 100 grams. And when you're dealing with impaired kidney function, that extra sodium can be a slow, silent disaster. Why is sodium such a big problem? Because damaged kidneys struggle to flush it out. That means the sodium stays in your system, leading to fluid retention, swelling, and elevated blood pressure, one of the top causes of kidney failure in seniors. And that's not all. Many brands of canned tuna in oil include phosphorus-based preservatives, ingredients like sodium phosphate, which don't show up clearly on food labels. Phosphorus overload can accelerate kidney damage, leach calcium from your bones, and lead to fatigue, itchiness, and even bone pain. You might not connect the dots right away. Maybe you've noticed you feel bloated after lunch, or your fingers swell after a sandwich. Maybe you've been feeling more tired than usual after meals. These are the subtle warning signs your body is giving you, but most of us brush them off. Now, what if canned tuna is one of the few affordable proteins you rely on? If you must use it, choose tuna packed in water, not oil. Look for low sodium or no salt added versions. Yes, they exist. And once you open the can, rinse the tuna thoroughly under cold water for at least 30 seconds to remove some of the surface sodium and preservatives. But even with rinsing, it's important to treat canned tuna as an occasional item, not a daily habit. For people with compromised kidney function, every milligram of sodium matters. One small can might seem innocent, but over time, it adds up. Your kidneys are already working overtime. Don't make them fight harder than they have to. It sounds like a superfood, doesn't it? King mackerel, rich in omega-3, loaded with protein, and celebrated in many heart-healthy diets. But here's the uncomfortable truth: this oily fish can quietly poison your kidneys if you're not careful. Let's break it down. Yes, King mackerel is full of omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, but it also comes with a heavy burden, dangerously high levels of mercury. And for someone with already weakened kidneys, mercury isn't just a concern, it's a ticking time bomb. Why? Because your kidneys are one of the body's main filtration systems for heavy metals like mercury. When they're damaged or underperforming, they can't clear out toxins effectively. That means mercury stays in your system longer, accumulating in tissues, damaging nerves, and placing even more strain on your kidneys. Studies have shown that mercury exposure in older adults is linked to reduced glomerular filtration rate, the core measure of kidney function. But the danger doesn't stop there. King mackerel is also high in purines, compounds that break down into uric acid in the body. For someone with kidney disease, excess uric acid is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It raises the risk of gout attacks, joint pain, and further kidney strain. What can you expect if you eat king mackerel too often? You might notice more frequent headaches, a strange metallic taste, or even muscle weakness, all possible signs of mercury buildup. Over time, the damage becomes harder to reverse. So, what's the safer path? If you love oily fish, choose smaller, low-mercury options like sardines or Atlantic mackerel, which contain far less mercury while still offering omega-3 benefits. And always limit how often you eat large predatory fish, especially if you're over 60 or have any stage of kidney impairment. Your kidneys can't raise a red flag, but your body will. You just need to know how to listen. If king mackerel is a concern, then swordfish is a full-blown red alert, one of the highest mercury fish you can buy in the United States. It's big, meaty, and often served as a premium seafood option. But for someone living with chronic kidney disease or even mild renal stress, swordfish isn't just risky. It can be downright toxic. Let's connect the dots. As we mentioned, mercury builds up in the body when the kidneys can't flush it out efficiently. Swordfish, being a large predatory fish, accumulates mercury from everything it eats throughout its life. The result? A concentrated dose of this heavy metal in every bite. And unlike other toxins that might pass through the system quickly, mercury lingers. It can stay in your tissues for weeks, even months, causing cognitive fog, muscle cramps, fatigue, and in severe cases, neurological damage. For older adults, this can show up as forgetfulness, tremors, or that constant feeling of something's just not right. The FDA has actually listed swordfish as one of the do not eat fish for pregnant women and young children due to its mercury levels. But what about seniors with kidney disease? Why is that warning not louder for you? The truth is, your kidneys at this stage are just as vulnerable, if not more so. If you've ever eaten swordfish and felt strangely sluggish afterward, or noticed headaches or unusual weakness the next day, your body might be telling you something it can't say out loud. And remember, these effects are cumulative. They don't come from just one steak. It's the slow, repeated exposure that does the damage. Could you make swordfish safe by cooking it differently or eating it in tiny portions? Maybe, but is it worth the gamble? When your kidneys are already compromised, there's no room for maybe. There are safer, smarter choices that don't carry this hidden cost. When it comes to swordfish, my advice is simple. Avoid it entirely. The flavor isn't worth the long-term damage. Your kidneys deserve better than a fish that brings more poison than nutrition to the plate. It smells nostalgic. It reminds many of us of family meals, traditional dishes, maybe even childhood comfort. But beneath that sense of familiarity, salted cod, also known as bacalao, hides one of the most dangerous threats to kidney health: extreme sodium overload. Unlike fresh fish, salted cod isn't just seasoned. It's preserved in salt, often soaking up over 1,500 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams, sometimes more. For someone with healthy kidneys, that's already pushing the limit. But for anyone with kidney disease, high blood pressure, or even slightly reduced filtration function, it's a direct hit to the body's most fragile filter. Your kidneys rely on a delicate balance to manage fluid levels and electrolytes. When you consume too much sodium, that balance is shattered. The body retains water in an effort to dilute the salt, leading to swelling in the legs, puffiness in the face, weight fluctuations, and worst of all, increased blood pressure, one of the leading causes and accelerators of kidney failure in the United States. Here's what's most deceptive. Even if you soak and rinse the cod before cooking, a large amount of sodium remains inside the meat. Unless you soak it for hours, sometimes overnight, changing the water several times, it's nearly impossible to remove enough salt to make it kidney safe. And let's be honest, how many people actually take the time to do that? You might say, but I only eat a little. And that's exactly how sodium does its damage. A little, over and over again. You don't notice it right away. Maybe you feel a bit thirstier. Maybe your rings feel tighter. Maybe your ankles swell by evening. These aren't just signs of aging, they're your kidneys waving a red flag. If you're craving that classic flavor, consider alternatives. Use fresh cod seasoned with herbs instead. Or if you must use salted cod for a special recipe, soak it thoroughly for 24 hours, changing the water at least 3-4 times, and don't add any more salt during cooking. Still, I urge you to think twice. In this stage of life, every bite is a choice. And while memories are precious, they shouldn't come at the cost of your health. Let's protect your kidneys because you only get 2, and they're working hard to protect you every single day. After everything we've just uncovered about salty, processed, and toxic fish, it might feel like the ocean is off limits. But here's the truth. Not all fish are enemies of your kidneys. In fact, when chosen wisely, some can be powerful allies, gentle protectors, quietly working with your body instead of against it. And leading that list is salmon. Think of salmon as the opposite of salted cod. It doesn't strip your kidneys, it supports them. This is thanks to its rich content of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These compounds have been shown to reduce systemic inflammation, protect blood vessels, and lower blood pressure, 3 of the biggest threats to kidney health in aging adults. A clinical trial published in Kidney International Reports found that patients with chronic kidney disease who consumed omega-3 seconds regularly had slower decline in GFR, a key indicator of kidney function. In other words, salmon isn't just safe, it may help you hold on to kidney function longer. But how much is enough, and how much is too much? I recommend enjoying salmon once or twice per week, about 3-4 ounces per serving. That's enough to give you all the benefits, without overwhelming your body with protein or phosphorus. And always choose fresh or frozen wild-caught salmon over smoked or canned versions, which often hide added sodium and preservatives. When it comes to cooking, keep it simple. Baking, steaming, or lightly pan-searing with olive oil are ideal methods. Skip the heavy sauces and skip the salt. Instead, try seasoning with lemon juice, garlic, black pepper, dill, or a sprinkle of paprika. These flavors bring out the natural richness of the fish without stressing your kidneys. Not a big fish lover? Here's a trick. Pair salmon with a side of steamed vegetables like zucchini or asparagus, and finish with a squeeze of lemon and a dash of fresh parsley. It's light, refreshing, and more kidney-friendly than any salty seafood dish on a restaurant menu. Your kidneys don't need extreme diets or miracle pills. Sometimes, all it takes is a piece of the right fish, prepared the right way, at the right time. Salmon, when treated with care, can be just that, a small act of healing on your plate. Not everyone enjoys the rich, oily taste of salmon, and for many seniors, especially those on a tight budget, buying wild-caught fish every week simply isn't realistic. That's where tilapia steps in, not flashy, not fancy, but quietly one of the safest and most accessible choices for kidney health. If salmon is the bold protector, tilapia is the gentle companion. Its flesh is light, mild in flavor, and most importantly, low in phosphorus and potassium, 2 minerals that become difficult for damaged kidneys to process. For people in stage 2 to 4 of chronic kidney disease, that makes tilapia a smart, reliable option. Nutritionally, it's a clean protein. A 3-ounce cooked portion provides around 21 grams of protein, with minimal saturated fat and a very manageable mineral profile. And unlike many other whitefish, tilapia is easy to digest, which helps reduce metabolic strain on both your kidneys and your digestive system. Scientific reviews have shown that moderate, high-quality protein intake, especially from low-phosphorus sources like tilapia, can help maintain muscle mass without accelerating kidney decline. This is especially important for seniors battling muscle loss, fatigue, and frailty. When choosing tilapia, go for fresh or flash-frozen fillets, ideally U.S. farmed or certified sustainable sources. Avoid tilapia from poorly regulated farms, especially imported versions, as they may contain antibiotics or other harmful additives. As for preparation, this is a fish that loves simplicity. Steam it with ginger and scallions for a gentle aromatic meal, or bake it in foil with cherry tomatoes, basil, and a drizzle of olive oil. It cooks quickly and pairs beautifully with low-potassium sides like couscous, cauliflower rice, or lightly sautéed green beans. And here's a tip for those who say tilapia tastes too plain. Try adding a light crust of lemon zest, mixed with finely chopped parsley, and just a pinch of garlic powder. It brings out a brightness that makes the dish feel fresh without any need for salt. In a world full of overprocessed, overpriced foods, tilapia offers something rare, a kidney-safe, budget-friendly fish that's both comforting and nourishing. Sometimes, the best choices are the quietest ones, and your kidneys will thank you for it. If your kidneys could speak, they'd ask for something clean, light, and easy to process. And that's exactly what Pacific Cod delivers, a gentle source of protein that supports, rather than stresses, your filtration system. This is not the salty, preserved cod we warned about earlier. Pacific cod, when fresh or frozen, not cured, is an entirely different story. It's a white, flaky fish with a mild flavor and low levels of phosphorus, sodium, and potassium, a perfect trio for aging kidneys. Each 3-ounce portion of cooked Pacific cod gives you about 15-20 grams of high-quality protein, enough to support muscle maintenance without overwhelming your kidneys. More importantly, it's naturally low in purines, which means it won't spike uric acid levels like some other fish do. That's crucial for those trying to avoid gout flare-ups or added strain on weakened kidneys. What sets cod apart is how easy it is on digestion. It doesn't feel heavy after a meal. There's no lingering, fishy aftertaste. It simply nourishes without drama, which is exactly what most seniors with kidney concerns need. When shopping, look for Pacific cod or Alaskan cod on the label. These tend to be cleaner and more responsibly sourced than their Atlantic cousins. Avoid anything breaded, salted, or pre-seasoned. These often contain hidden sodium and phosphate additives. In the kitchen, cod is wonderfully versatile. You can steam it with a splash of lemon juice and dill, or bake it gently in a parchment packet with a touch of olive oil and your favorite low-sodium herbs. The texture is tender, the flavor subtle, and it plays well with almost any side dish. To enhance the taste without compromising your kidney health, try pairing cod with a puree of roasted red bell peppers and garlic, or a light drizzle of herb-infused olive oil. Add a side of roasted carrots or zucchini, and you've got a meal that feels restaurant-worthy, but built for healing. Pacific cod isn't flashy, but it does exactly what your body needs. Nourishes without harming, supports without stressing, and gives your kidneys a much-needed break. In a time of life where every choice matters, this is one you can feel good about. If you've been searching for a fish that's not only safe, but soothing, something that goes down easy, feels gentle on your body, and leaves no worry behind, flounder might be your perfect match. Flounder, including varieties like sole, is a delicate white fish that offers exactly what aging kidneys need. Low phosphorus, low potassium, and low sodium without sacrificing nutrition or taste. Its tender texture makes it especially appealing for seniors who may have digestive sensitivity, poor appetite, or simply want something light at dinner. A typical 3-ounce serving of cooked flounder provides about 19 grams of protein with almost no saturated fat. That means it helps preserve muscle mass, a key concern for older adults, without contributing to inflammation or kidney overload. Unlike larger, oilier fish, flounder isn't high in mercury or purines. This makes it an ideal choice for people in stages 2-4 of chronic kidney disease, where even a little excess waste or acid buildup can lead to fatigue, nausea, or fluid retention. When shopping, Look for fresh or frozen flounder fillets that are unbreaded and unseasoned. Check the ingredient label carefully. Some frozen varieties sneak in sodium-based preservatives, so the fewer ingredients, the better. Flounder's mild flavor means it's easy to customize. One of the best ways to prepare it is to lightly pan-sear with a touch of olive oil and fresh herbs like thyme or tarragon. You can also steam it with lemon slices and a few crushed peppercorns for a fragrant, kidney-safe meal that feels like comfort food. Want to add flavor without salt? Try a low-sodium garlic and parsley dressing, or serve flounder alongside mashed cauliflower blended with roasted garlic. It creates a warm, balanced dish that feels both indulgent and healing. This is the kind of meal that doesn't just fill your stomach, it calms your system. For seniors living with kidney disease, flounder offers something rare. A fish that's as gentle as it is nourishing. And a reminder that eating well doesn't have to be a struggle. Your kidneys will recognize the difference even if your taste buds just think it's delicious. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Fish can be either a quiet healer or a hidden threat. It all depends on your choices. If you're living with kidney disease, high blood pressure, or rising creatinine, you don't need to cut out fish completely. You just need to eat smarter. Avoid salted, canned, smoked, or heavily processed fish. These are packed with sodium, preservatives, and sometimes even toxic metals, things your kidneys simply can't keep up with anymore. Instead, choose fresh, low-mercury, low-phosphorus options like salmon, tilapia, Pacific cod, and flounder. Stick to 2-3 servings per week, about 3-4 ounces each, and cook them gently steamed, baked, or lightly pan-seared, with herbs and lemon instead of salt. And here's a final tip. Always read the label, especially when buying frozen fish. Look for simple ingredients, no added salt, and nothing you can't pronounce. Your kidneys don't ask for much, but they do need your help. And sometimes, a small shift in what's on your plate can lead to a much bigger change in how you feel. You're not alone in this journey, and you still have choices that can make a difference.